Okay, here we go.
Oh my God!
I'm embarrassed!
He's flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
All right, everybody, welcome in. We are the Sports Hounds, exclusively on A2D Radio. Another Monday, another episode. Brad Ryer, Rob Brinkman, live reacting to the Phillies Yankees game in the Bronx underway. If you're not watching, you're relying on us for updates. It hasn't gotten any better for the Phillies off of an absolute disastrous weekend down in Arlington. They get swept by the Texas Rangers. The Yankees go 2-1 against the Giants. We got a lot of baseball talk. Huge weekend. We got a national championship later. We got different NBA, NHL, and maybe some NFL scuttlebutt coming across the wire late in the day here regarding your old boy Odell Beckham Jr., Brad. The Ravens won him. Ravens won him bad, apparently.
Is that to lure Lamar back?
Again, who knows? We talked about it last week. One of the strangest stories, NFL-wise, sports-wise. I don't get it. You have a game-breaker quarterback on the market. Everybody except 6-7 teams need a quarterback, and nobody wants them. I don't get it. Don't forget, hit the damn like, hit the damn subscribe, turn those notifications on. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Download us anywhere you get your podcast, Spreaker, Spotify, Google Play, iHeartRadio, and iTunes. As always, each and every Monday, we are brought to you by our buddies at Aria Public Adjusting. Don't fight your homeowner's insurance alone. Contact Aria Public Adjusting, 813-564-3364. That's Aria Public Adjusting. Tell them A2D Radio sent you. Also brought to you by Gleason's Bar and Grill at 6700 Mill Creek Avenue in Levittown, Pennsylvania. Use promo code A2D, 10% off your order when you dine in, take out, online, doesn't matter. Gleason'sBarandSteaks.com. Let's get to our poll question right off the bat. Our poll question brought to you by Allen C. Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls you. Let their talented team of travel experts create your custom vacation. We're just going to jump right into it. We're going to watch the game, and we're just going to bullshit about baseball for the next 2 hours. We hope you join us. Tell your friends. We got 9 in listening right now. Let's try and get that up to 25 ASAP as we try and will the Phillies on. Brad will try and will his Yankees on. Nestor Cortez is absolutely on fire tonight, Brad. Let's get to the big picture, folks, because I know a lot of people in Philadelphia are really, really frustrated with how the season started. Has your confidence wavered in the Phillies? Agree, disagree, hop on the chat. We'll get to as many as we can as we watch this ball game here. My confidence hasn't wavered in the Phillies. Now, if you thought this team was going to win 100 games and just cruise through the National League after the Rhys Hoskins injury with Bryce Harper on the shelf and Ranger Suarez on the shelf, I mean, you either take your Phillies glasses off and come back to reality and join us. I had this team at like 88, 89 wins. They did a poll question on A2D Wednesday night if they were going to win 90 games. I didn't agree with it. Look, for you not to adjust your preseason expectations and predictions after the Rhys Hoskins injury, that's shame on you. There's a big drop-off. Tonight, Derek Hall is in there. Alec Boehm played last night. This is a hole in the lineup. And this lineup was supposed to carry this team to the promised land. So they're a bad short. They're 30 home runs, a 350 on base short in the middle back end of the order. The pitching, Wheeler started Saturday. He started off really bad, settled in, and then the bullpen came in and didn't do it all. Aaron Nola, the whipping boy of Philadelphia. I guess he's the new whipping boy now that Rhys Hoskins is injured. He gets through 4 innings, no problem, and then they let up a 9 spot on opening day. Really, the only concerning thing is you lose Saturday 16-3, Brad. You're the first pitcher. You're the first team in MLB this year to use a position player to pitch. That's obviously not a good look. Josh Harrison pitched a frame or two on Saturday afternoon. 16-3. That's not okay. They lost on opening day. Okay. And then you lose a hard-fought game on Sunday Night Baseball, 2-1. So if you break it down, one of the 3 games was really, really bad. And that's not who this team is. What you're going to see.
I thought 2 of them were pretty bad, to be honest with you. I mean, the first game was bad. I mean, that was
9 in the 5th is bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That was bad. And last night they didn't hit with runners in scoring position.
They have not. No.
They had constant run. They had constant traffic on the base pads and couldn't get a run. I mean, it's not like they didn't have their chances. They had chances all night long.
And now, Brad, it's only going to get worse in the comments. It's only going to get worse on Twitter and Facebook and social media because tonight in the Bronx did not start well. Brandon Marsh misplayed a fairly routine play in center field. It rolls to the fence. DJ LeMahieu gets a triple. Thank God DJ LeMahieu is old and not as fast as he was in his Colorado days because that would have been a leadoff inside the park home run. And Taijuan Walker walks the yard. I think the Phillies are really fortunate to only be down 2-0, Brad.
Yeah, they were.
I
just wonder if Taijuan Walker was just being extremely careful with Aaron Judge and Giancarlo Stanton. Well, no, not Stanton, with him and Rizzo. I mean, I think he was just being ultra careful with those guys because Rizzo in Yankee Stadium is really, really tough to get out. I mean that he takes big advantage of the wall. Now the Phillies got something brewing with runners on first and second and 1 out. Wow, that's a tough pitch. I can't believe he got.
But Brad, I'm watching the game opening day, and they're down like 9-5. Then it's 11-7. I never thought they were out of opening day until it was entirely too late, and they were just down by too many, and it was a lost cause. Saturday's the wash, and then they could have easily gotten something going in that Sunday night.
Oh, they should have. They last night was the game they should have won. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They got a good pitching effort, and you're going to have games like that. It happens. Where a team doesn't. I mean, the Yankees do it all the time with leaving runners in scoring position. I mean, last inning, in the first inning, they had runners on second and third with 1 out, and 2 runs in, and they didn't get another run in. I mean, that's what happens with a lot of these teams, especially the Yankees, by the way, which are famous for doing stuff like that.
So, Brad, your advice to Philadelphia Phillies fans?
Relax. It's you have 159 games to go. Okay, and the Phillies are a very good baseball team. We'll be fine. Okay, whether they win, they don't have to win the division. They can come in 7th again, and still make the playoffs. So relax. It's not the end of the world if they get the wild card, because obviously they have the pitching. Their first 2 pitchers are outstanding, and you got to listen. This time of year, unlike before, pitchers need to get stretched out, and they're not really none of them have their arm strength, with the exception of maybe Garrett Cole, who was exceptionally good opening day. But a lot of these guys need to stretch out their arms. I mean, they're pitching 4-5 innings at the most, and a lot of them are only throwing around 75, 80 pitches. Right now it's very hard to judge, and I wouldn't worry about it right now. Okay, middle of May, if they're 5-6 games under 500, then I would worry about it. But you know what? In April, on April 3rd, I wouldn't be too concerned. Yeah, they're a good team. I mean, they're going to win. They're going to win. They're not out of the game tonight. I mean, it's kind of silly to just to go crazy over 3 games. I mean, I know I do it all. We all do it all the time, but realistically, just coming from an outsider looking in, it's 3 games. You know, you have a 3-game series with the Yankees. You know, you don't get swept. At least win one, and you know you'll be on your way. Maybe you'll win 2. Who knows? You know, there's, as I said, this time of the year, with the pitching the way it is, no pitchers are going to be all that dominant this early. So don't worry about it. Baseball is a marathon.
Spike Lee's in the house. Little check swing. Not sure what happened there. I guess they're out of it. Bryson Stott, little dribbler down third.
Yeah, he stepped on third, and that was it.
I guess that's that.
Yeah.
The lineups tonight, Brad.
Oh boy, that was close. Was that fair or foul?
I thought it was fair live.
Yeah, I mean, they showed it in slow motion. I mean, he got it when it was right on the edge of the line. Smart play by LeMahieu.
Phillies trot out normal at the top. Then they shuffled some things around at the bottom. It's Turner, Schwarber, Realmuto, Castellanos, Bohm, who's DHing tonight, Derek Hall at first, Edmundo Sosa at third, Bryson Stott at second, Brandon Marsh in center field, and in the 9-hole, Taijuan Walker's pitching. He already has 3 walks. He does not have a strikeout, and he has let up, obviously, the 2 earned runs thus far, 2-0 Yankees in the Bronx, getting to the second half of the second inning.
Are they earned runs?
I guess they didn't give him.
Because that was a single and a 2-base error.
Well, no, because he walked.
Oh, right. He walked 2 guys. He walked 2 guys, so that puts him on third. So, okay. Yeah. No, it's right. It's they're earned. Forgot about the 2. The 2 walks would have pushed him to third. So,
and Yankees, they trot out DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Anthony Rizzo, Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres. Is that Frenchie Cordero there in right field?
Frankie Cordero, yep.
Okay. Aaron Hicks, Jose Trevino, and the boy wonder Anthony Volpe at shortstop. I want to ask you about Anthony Volpe because I don't think he's gotten a hit yet, but he's gotten on base. He got a hit?
Yeah, he got a hit on Saturday.
And he is stepping to the plate right now. What's the vibe around him, Brad?
Well, everybody's pretty excited about him because he's a very good fielder and he's real fast. And, he had a great spring. He's only got 1 hit so far, but I think he also has 2 walks and he has 3 stolen bases already. So, I mean, he can fly. He's exciting on the base paths. I mean, he's kind of like a young Trey Turner.
Were you surprised the Yankees gave in and gave him an opening day roster spot? No. It's not their MO.
No, but he deserved it. He outplayed IKF and he outplayed Oswald Cabrera. So
I saw IKF was in center field.
Excuse me. Yeah, he was
in center field.
Yes. Yeah, he played a lot of games there in the spring.
Okay.
They're right now they're kind of, just trying to get by until Bader's ready to come back.
Okay, which is going to be soon. It sounds like
it'll probably be in a couple of weeks. I mean, it's not going to be that long for him.
He was hurt all last year too.
Yeah, but that was different. That was plantar fasciitis.
I still don't really understand that trade you guys did.
Oh, to get rid of Jordan Montgomery?
Yeah.
Because Jordan Montgomery stinks. Just because he pitched well in St. Louis, it's because none of the National League teams even ever saw him play. That was the big problem for them. I mean, as soon as he went around the league the second time, he started getting smacked. Jordan Montgomery has a lot of ability, but he doesn't ever seem to put it together. Now maybe he'll put it together in St. Louis. I just think in the Bronx, he just couldn't handle the Bronx.
And now it just doesn't get any easier against the Yankees because now Aaron Judge is up for the second time. Hit a rocket on opening day, Brad. First at bat.
Yep. And he hit one yesterday too.
Did he really? I missed that.
He and Stanton went back to back.
It's going to be a lot of that in the Bronx this year.
Yeah, and well, with him and Rizzo and Stanton together, it's actually they didn't go back to back. I'm sorry. Judge hit a home run, Rizzo got a single, and then Stanton hit the mammoth home run. So close to back to back.
I mean, I watched you guys on opening day. It was the first game off, 1:00 MLB Network against the San Francisco Giants. Everything just clicked.
Good. I don't think the Giants are going to be very good this year.
I tend to agree, but I mean, there's enough talent there that they can be a pain in the butt.
I mean, I don't really know.
Logan Webb's an outstanding pitcher, and
I know that he's very good. He's very good. And Judge struck out. So right. Walker settles down and gets them through the second inning.
Walker settling in. Got to get the bats going. A lot of pop-ups early on. 60 degrees, no wind in New York.
Nestor is pretty good. So, you're going to have to earn it against him. He's not a guy, he's not going to walk a lot of guys. But keep in mind, he's probably only going to pitch 5-6 innings at the most. And the Yankees are fortunate that when he hurt himself so early in spring training that he was able to get himself back. The only reason he's pitching tonight as opposed to pitching this past weekend is because he needed a couple of extra days to get himself ready. So that was kind of fortunate. I mean, that they were still able to win 2 out of 3 against the Giants, and now they have him and Cole in this series. So we'll see.
All right, let's get to some comments. Tell us what you think about the Phillies, think about the Yankees. What do you think of the new rules in baseball? We're going to get to that. I don't know how I feel about them. I'm confused.
I'll tell you what. I don't mind the pitch clock, but I do mind. I do mind the only throwing to first base 3 times. I think that's ridiculous. And they still the rule for extra innings is ridiculous as well. I don't like that either.
Yeah, I don't like that. I thought we were done with that.
Yeah, that drives me crazy.
I guess I kind of get it. It's like a shootout in hockey.
Yeah, and guess what? I hate the shootout. I think I've been
I know, but do you really want the Yankees? Like, what if this game goes till 3 a.m. tonight?
It's not going to go
bullpen tax. I understand that. It's baseball. Anything can happen. Well, you have a 15, 16 inning game. You really want your bullpen taxed for?
Yeah, but they're great.
You have an off day.
Those are great games, though. When those games, that's baseball. It shouldn't be like that. I mean, baseball. But there isn't supposed to be a time clock in baseball, and basically, when you do that, you're cheapening the game.
And I saw the team base runners are stealing at an 83% clip so far.
Right. So I'm justified in the fact that it's ridiculous that you're not letting these pitchers just throw to first. I think that's.
That's ridiculous. That's basically. It shouldn't be a free ride to second base if you get on first base, if you have any type of speed at all.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
and you have these teams like the Orioles that are just like. We're stealing. We're getting on first and we're getting the second. If you can throw us out, good for you. But
they got a lot, and they have a lot of speed, so they can really take advantage of that.
Anyway, let's get through some of our comments here. eXp Realty, Alan Foy, 302-682-8820. Looking to buy or sell a home, looking for a career in brokerage. Contact Alan Foy at eXp Realty. There's the information right there. Well, what do you think, Brad? Are we gonna have to calm people down, or are we gonna have to explain baseball to people?
I think that most Philly fans are smart enough to realize that it's extremely early in the season. Okay, and
And
just to
named
calm
Aaron.
down. I mean, you're starting pitching, which wasn't very good this past weekend, except for Bailey Falter. But those guys, again, they haven't stretched out their arms. They're coming out after like in the fourth inning, they're getting tired already. And it's not that easy. It really isn't. It just isn't that easy in April for your pitchers to be ready to play. You'd expect that the hitters might be a little bit ahead of the starting pitcher. I mean, the starting pitchers are not going to last that long. And look, most teams have very poor middle relief. You don't see too many teams coming out with good innings relief pitchers. It's just part. That's just baseball. That's how it is because that's the underbelly of most teams' pitching staffs. You don't put your best pitchers in middle relief. They're all near the bottom. So who's up? Is that Schwarber?
And Brad, before we get to some comment, Schwarber's at the dish. They got, I think it was Turner slapped a single.
Yeah, I saw that.
Schwarber hit a couple home runs in that World Baseball Classic, and he is just swinging for the fences every time, mainly resulting in pop out. I think he's got five infield pop outs already this season.
Rob, in Yankee Stadium, he doesn't have to swing that hard. He's so strong. I can only imagine if this guy played in Yankee Stadium, how many home runs he did. Yeah, honestly, when he was on the Cubs, I was always hoping that the Yankees would find a way to get him, that somehow he'd get to the Bronx, but it never happened.
So we got 2-2 count. Schwarber at the dish.
Wow, that was a
Phillies
good take.
down 2. I go over it first. Brian Daly, it's only the first week of baseball. No reason to sound the alarm that the baseball season is a marathon, not a race.
Brian's right on the money there.
Yeah, Phillies will figure it out. I tend to agree.
They'll be fine. Yeah, the Phillies will be fine.
Bobby DeCrescio, is the loss of Harper, Hoskins, and Suarez really hurting this team that bad? 0-3 is just a bad start.
Yeah, but
I mean, Bobby, like, no one's saying it's doom and gloom and the Phillies are toast. I'm not saying that. They're going to figure it out. There's enough players here that they're going to figure it out, but I don't see any way how you can – now, could they finish higher than the Braves and the Mets? Sure, maybe, but without those three guys for extended periods of time, I don't know if the division's feasible. I don't know if 90 wins is feasible. And I said that before. I mean, I had them as the fifth wild card in the National League in my predictions last week. I have the Braves winning the East. But they're going to maybe tee it up right. Schwarber flew out the center. Here. And get the line. Rob Povey is in the house.
We are good, Rob.
So if Ryan Swoop isn't concerned, then he's not concerned. If Ryan Swoop's not concerned, then no one should be. Guy gets worried sometimes, Ryan. And the Phillies go quietly into the night after a Trey Turner single. Just pop-ups galore. I don't know what's going on. I think it's five infield pop-outs to start this game. We've only played 2 innings here in the Bronx. So they need to level out their swings and drive the baseball. Get on base. Put pressure on the defense. Don 19's in the house. Julian C. checking us out on YouTube. This is a disgrace. Can't hit with men on. Can't pitch. Can't pitch the 3 high-praised pitchers. Not awake. Yeah, just calm down. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. By the way, Texas is good.
I told you.
Texas is good. I picked them. I picked them last week. What are you talking about? You didn't have them in the playoffs.
No, I
don't had them in the playoffs.
No, I don't have them.
I have them as the number 6 seed.
They are in a vastly improved baseball team. I don't think they're better than Tampa Bay, though. Although Tampa Bay hasn't really played anybody, and they're beating up on the hideous Nationals. So
Yeah, they played Detroit the first weekend too.
exactly, and now they're playing the
Let's see.
Nationals. So yeah, they should be 4-0.
They put that lineup together with spit and glue.
Who, Tampa Bay?
Yeah, Brandon Lowe is pretty good, and Rosarina is really good.
Yeah, but they always
Am I
find a way
missing
to score
something?
runs. Who, Tampa Bay?
Isaac Paradas.
Isaiah Paredes, he can hit.
He doesn't even play every day. He's not a mainstay in the lineup.
He's a left-handed hitter. He can't hit lefties. That's the problem with him.
Jose Siri, he's another guy who's got talent.
Don't know
platoon
anything
guy.
about him, but don't forget Wander
He was
Franco.
a good.
You
True,
forgot about him.
I did forget Wander.
Yeah, Wander can really hit. But they always find, Rob, the thing with them, bless you, they always have they always have the kind of team. They're gritty, and they can run and they move runners, and they score a lot of they score a lot of runs just by grit and determination. They're not going to outslug everybody, but they score plenty of runs.
And every rule change that comes about, I'm like, all right, this is the end of the race. I thought, the relievers having to face 3 guys, I thought that was going to hurt them. Now you got all these other new rules, some of which I think help them with the base running and the steals, because they can manufacture runs either no shift. Like they were a team that shift on.
I like the no shift because I couldn't stand the shift. I thought the shift was ridiculous. I'm kind of glad that there's no shift.
But I think the no shift. I think the no shift hurts small market teams like the Rays because they would align their defense strategically and analytically to cover up their defaults.
Yeah, but they have a good infield. They're pretty strong
They have a
at short.
good team.
Yeah, they're pretty strong. They're really strong at short and second. And they have been for a long time. I mean, now it's Lowe and Franco. I mean, they're good up the middle. And they've got real good pitching, and they've got a terrific bullpen. They've got a lot of really good players on their team. They don't have any superstars, unless you consider a Rosarina in that neighborhood. A Rosarina, by the way,
he's
has
getting
the
there.
talent. Yeah, he has the talent to be one, though.
Did you see him showboating on
the WBC?
No, and
against Detroit? No, I didn't.
Yeah,
no,
I forget if it was Saturday or Sunday, but like he hit a home run. Let me get my cam back on here. He hit a home run and he rounded third and he looked at the Tigers dugout and gave one of these poses and then ran to home.
He's lucky he didn't get hit.
He did get hit. He got hit his next at bat.
Good. He should get hit for doing that.
And you know what? Nothing happened. He didn't charge the mount. He just kind of looked at him and said, yeah, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Put his thumb up and ran to first base.
Yeah, well, okay. So he learned something. I mean, no, you can't. If you do that, you're going to get hit. That's baseball.
Did you see Anthony Rendon? Did you see that episode out west?
Yes. Anthony Rendon is a bitch, by the way. Taking a
for
swing
that,
at a fan.
yeah.
For taking a swing at a fan, come on. You know what? That's just ridiculous. Just get off the field. Get out of the dugout.
So one of the 6 people at the Oakland A's game called Anthony Rendon a bitch. I believe this was after opening day where the Angels lost. I think they waxed him the next 2 games.
Yeah, they did.
The fan in Oakland calls Anthony Rendon a bitch. Anthony Rendon takes a swing at him, and he gets himself suspended 5 games. All he had to do was not swing at him, and I would have sided with.
All he had to do was say something back.
Not even that. What's that going to do for Anthony? What's that going to do for Anthony Rendon?
Well, he can make a smart ass comment just to piss somebody off. He doesn't even have to use a dirty.
He could, but
dirty
today,
language, but
you're only going to get yourself in trouble. Bradley Beal did the same thing for the Wizards. Some idiot fan was standing close to the court while Bradley Beal was coming off, and Bradley Beal, I think it was he didn't score enough points for the guy's same game parlay, so he called him whatever, bitch or cocksucker or something like that. And Bradley Beal went off. Not to the extent that Rendon did, but
yeah, but you know what though, and I hate to say this, but you know what? Sometimes sometimes you have to be. Sometimes some of these players have to grow up too. The fans should shut the hell up, especially the ones that are right on the court like that within the players' faces. If you want to yell it from 20 rows back, then it's funny. But when you get right in a guy's face, you're asking for trouble. You can't do that to people. I don't care who it is. You're going to get mad if somebody's right in your face yelling stuff. I get it. I get it. If it's from a distance, it's not as fun. It can be a little bit funny. But if you're right on somebody, if you're like right in somebody's face, calling them names and stuff, you're tempting fate. These guys are human beings and they've got feelings and they get pissed off. That's simple. I mean, it's very easy for us to say, "Oh, come on, you can't be doing that," but you know what? They do. Oh, that's deep. That is gone. Is that
things just
Stanton
went
again?
No, that's Torres.
Glaber,
Things
okay.
going from bad to worse in the Bronx. Phillies now down 3-0. Taijuan Walker is going to be out of this game in probably a few minutes the way he's pitching right now. I think every batter the Yankees have freaking sent up has gotten the count full.
Well, that's kind of what they do.
He's got a lot of pitches. So
the Yankees strike out a lot, they walk a lot, and they hit a lot of home runs. It's just kind of how they play.
So if you were a Phillies fan like me coming into this baseball game thinking that Taijuan Walker making $18 million could give the bullpen a little bit of a break, doesn't look like that. It doesn't look like that's going to happen.
At least not today. He doesn't have any command today. I mean, LeMahieu's ball that ended up being a 3-base, a single and a 2-base error. That ball was hit right on the button, right on the screws. Boy, Glaber just clobbered that ball.
Don 19. What a horrible way for the Orioles to lose to the Red Sox on Saturday.
So what happened?
Orioles were up like 8-2 and they lost 9-8.
Oh, jeez.
Well,
you guys should know. You guys should know what that's like after your bullpen the last few years. You hate when that happens.
I mean, the Orioles are good, but they have no pitching. No pitching.
No, they don't have any pitching. They can hit though. I'll give them that.
Phillies 3 hits, no runs. Yankees 3 hits, 3 runs. So not a lot of production coming from the Philadelphia Phillies. There's still time. They're facing a good pitcher. I don't want to go 0-4 though.
Well, basically the thing is here is you got to take some pitches. He didn't have a full spring training, Rob. Take some pitches, get him out of the game, and get into the Yankees bullpen. That is the Yankees bullpen is their Achilles heel.
Ryan Swoop, Brad, is it true the Phillies offered Jameson Taillon the same contract they gave Walker first, but he turned it down? After he turned it down, they went after Walker and gave him the same contract.
Taillon is way better than Walker. I hate to tell you that, but
Ryan Swoop is suggesting that they wanted Jameson Taillon.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't blame him. Jameson Taillon is a good pitcher. The Yankees wanted to upgrade from him. They brought in Rodon. I'm not going to complain about that. And Rodon will be back at the beginning of May, so he'll be fine.
So he turned down the Phillies to go to the Cubs. Did he not get? He didn't. Did he not get a? Taijuan Walker got it.
Taijuan Walker got a lot of money.
I can't imagine Jameson Taillon would turn that down. A Taijuan Walker deal.
I don't know how much he got paid by the Cubs. I don't know. That I don't know. Taijuan.
I mean, he got 4 years, $68 million from Chicago.
Okay, well, that's a lot more than what Walker got.
But he got his money. I mean, Taijuan Walker's hurt a lot.
He's always been hurt a lot. The Yankees, by the way, have always had their way with him. Taillon gets hurt a lot too, but you know what? With the Yankees, he never got hurt.
He didn't. Another question for you, Brad. You're popular tonight. Brad, please tell me why so many Giants fans are saying Daniel Jones is better than Jalen Hurts. No smart Giants fan is saying that.
I have never heard any Giant fan with a brain say that Daniel Jones is better than Hurts. So I don't I couldn't. First of all, I'm not his biggest fan anyway, and you've probably heard me a million times mention that I don't that he's not I'm not he's not my biggest my most favorite player. To put
Are
it
you good?
bluntly.
Are you good with the contract he got?
Well, Rob, I look at who else is available, okay, and you know what? I'm okay with it because they really it's only a 2-year contract if you really want to slice it and dice it. Most
Right.
of the money, the guaranteed money, is in the first 2 years. So if things don't work out in 2 years, they can always release them, and they won't be caught with too much dead money.
Yeah, they're just going to move on.
Right. But as far as his ability, I think he's got. I've always said this, and you know I've always said this. I think the guy has talent, and I think he's got a really strong arm. He's a good athlete. He can run the ball a little bit. He's pretty accurate as far as throwing passes. He's never had an offensive line that gave him protection. Now this year, the offensive line did give him a little help. He didn't get a lot of help from his receivers because he had probably the worst group of receivers in the NFL, and he had a pretty decent year. I think you get him a little bit better receivers, and I think he's going to be a pretty good quarterback. That's my view on him. Is he as good as Hurts? No, he hasn't proven that he could do that. At least not yet. I mean, can he? I don't know. He doesn't. One thing I will say, Hurts has a much better offensive line. He has much better receivers. Danny has a better running back than Hurts does. But as far as moving the team up and down the field and consistency, Hurts is a lot more consistent. That's just for sure. It's not even close. Nice play by the Yankee infield there, saving a would-be base hit.
Phillies threatening again. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. Alec Boehm stays hot, hits a double. Derek Hall, productive out, gets him over to third. Now it's up to Edmundo Sosa to get him in. You got to get this run home. Make it 3-1. Make him think about it. Walker's settling in a little bit, kind of, sort of. Actually, not really, because he just gave up a home run. But I'm trying here. I don't want to leave New York 1-5 or 0-6.
I don't think you're going to go. I don't think the Yankees are going to sweep the Phillies. I kind of doubt that.
Well, who's pitching tomorrow?
Herman.
Okay, he's decent, but he's gettable. There you go. There you go. Edmundo Sosa, great deadline pickup last year by Dave Dombrowski. Gets the Phillies on the board. 3-1 in the Bronx. Sorry if I ruined it for you, Brad, on the delay.
Yeah, I'm just seeing it. I'm just seeing it now.
Just, got him in. Nothing fancy. Good old-fashioned manufacturing of a run. And we're off.
You can't blame Nestor. Nestor gave up a ground ball. It just got through. I mean, what are you going to do?
Another pop-up. Another pop-up. Yankees are out of it. Phillies on the board. 3-1 in the Bronx. Brad, baseball games are flying by this year.
Yes, they are. And I do kind of like as I said, I don't have a problem with the pitch clock. I don't like the business of not being able to throw to first base, though. I think that's totally not fair to the pitcher. I mean, you got to be able to keep these runners close. I mean, could you imagine how many bases Ricky Henderson would have stole if they could only throw over there 3 times?
Yeah, just put him on third.
Yeah, every time he's up, he'd be on third. I mean, he was literally every time he got to first, he was on third anyway, even with it. So,
I mean, if any of these guys that I have, like Edmundo Sosa, I would have tried the steal right there. I would have put the take sign on. I would have had Sosa take second. Then you have a runner in scoring position.
Well, in all fairness, though, you are dealing with a guy who won the Platinum Glove last year behind the plate.
Yeah, Trevino, he's good.
Yeah, he's a good defensive catcher. He's got a great arm. But
Brad, if you can play any types of games with the pitcher and force him to use his throwovers,
Yeah, but it's
You got a
different.
free base.
It's different with Cortez though, Rob. Cortez is left-handed, so I mean he can plainly see what's going on. It's a little harder to steal against a lefty than a righty. I'm sure that's a big
Yeah,
factor.
that's not
That
rocket
that's not
science. I
exactly
know
yeah.
this.
That's not news. It's just it's sometimes it's
But
not that easy to
Brad,
steal
if I'm
against a lefty.
seeing an 83% success rate, everybody's going. Everybody's running.
If
It's
they can
going to be a
run,
track meet out there.
if you have speed, I don't know. I honestly don't know if Sosa has speed or not. Does he have speed?
He has enough. Like Kyle Schwarber stole like 12 bases last year.
Kyle Schwarber's a smart base runner, though. He's one of those guys that he's like Judge. He's not necessarily fast. He just knows when to steal.
But like 83%, like 12 can turn into 20.
Yeah, easily. No, you're right. You're right.
Ryan Swoop, do you guys think they should have allowed the shift to teams a limited amount of times a game instead of entirely removing it, like 4 to 5 times a game? No, I think they did the right thing with the switch. It looks like the Phillies are already into their bullpen. I don't even know who this is on the mound. Number 99.
They took Walker out already?
Apparently.
Wow, so they actually took a pitcher out because they were afraid to pitch to Hicks? Is that what I'm really seeing, Rob?
I don't even know who this guy is. I got to look him up for the people here. No idea.
Yeah, well, I mean, Walker could pitch to Hicks. I can't imagine he wouldn't be able to get Hicks out. Everybody else does.
No, they went a different direction.
Okay. Well, they obviously don't trust him. I mean, he really didn't. His control was not good tonight.
No, he had 67 pitches, only 37 of them. Oh, no, that is Taijuan Walker. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, why would you take a guy out against Hicks? See, there's the ground.
I didn't. I saw 99. That's a weird number. I thought that they pulled him. But no, Taijuan Walker, he's still going strong. But no, Ryan, the shift being eliminated is good.
Yeah, either it's in or it's out. You can't waffle on it. Go one way or another.
Tom Arnone, not a great start, but 3 to 4 games shouldn't change your confidence level. I completely agree.
Agreed.
You know, if this was mid-June and they got swept by Texas and Arlington, are we freaking out? Probably not. Probably not really at all. Maybe it's Saturday when you lose 16-3 and can't get anybody out, and you got to pitch Josh Harrison, which is embarrassing.
You don't like to do that.
Ryan, so who's your guys' World Series matchup? I had Jays versus Padres with the Blue Jays winning. You check out our social media. You can get all the staff here.
I got the matchup you're watching here.
No, you got the Braves.
Yeah, I know. I wouldn't mind seeing this matchup, though.
Number of people on staff have this matchup here. I have the Seattle Mariners defeating the Atlanta Braves. There's Walker settling in. But, yeah, check out our social media. We got a cool graphic about who everyone thinks is going to be in the World Series.
Rob, you got a real pitching duel out in Boston tonight.
Really?
Looks like the wind is blowing out in Fenway Park. It's 5-5 and it's 5-5 in the top of the third.
Well, the Red Sox are kind of one of the winners of opening day weekend. Yeah, they scored 9 runs. They have 27 runs scored already. They take 2 or 3 from.
Yeah, but scoring 27 runs, you should win all 3 just to be fair.
Well, yeah, Kluber had some issues on opening day.
Kluber was pretty bad.
I mean, Taijuan Walker, he's settling in here. They really need him to be good. Phillies really need Taijuan Walker to be good. Right the ship, Jake Friel. We're about to go 0-6, aren't we? Hopefully not. We might be 1-5.
You can't say that.
We might be 1-5. I'll tell you that.
You could be 2-4. You never know.
Well, Matt Strahm is probably going to pitch tomorrow.
I can't remember the Yankees ever facing him. Did he? He never pitched in the American League, did he?
He was on the Red Sox last year. They brought him in to be a reliever, but he's forced into starting duty with the Rangers Suarez.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you how the Yankees hit him. I couldn't tell you at all. I know that Taijuan Walker. They've always had success. When he was with Seattle, they used to hit him. Last year, when he was pitching for the Mets, they beat him twice. So I mean, it's not like they haven't. They've seen him plenty of times. Nestor Cortez can be tough to hit, especially when you haven't seen him before. And Nestor's gritty. He gets out.
He's a really good pitcher.
Yeah, he doesn't give up. He doesn't give up a lot. And when he gives up runs, he doesn't usually have a big inning. It's usually he'll keep it down to one run. So we'll see. Atlanta roughing up St. Louis, by the way, 6-1 now.
St. Louis hitting the ball over the ballpark start the season as well.
Yeah, but they're going to be tested now. They got Atlanta.
I mean, they played the Jays. I mean,
yeah, they what were they, 2-2 against them, or 1-2 against 2-1 against them, right?
I think they went 2-1. I don't know if it was a 4-game series or a 3-game series. The Rendon suspension is ridiculous. I mean, you can't treat a fan like that. You just can't.
No, you can't swing at him.
You can't.
If you want to say something clever, if you want to say something clever, you can say something clever.
If you got in a shouting match or a quick remark, 5 games would be ridiculous. But you can't have players.
If the guy was a big
getting
fat
into it with fans.
Rob, it was a big fat, so he should have just said have a salad and then just walk away. I mean, you're not going to get suspended for saying that. Just walk away. Make a clever comment and just end it. I mean, listen, the Astros last year were getting abused everywhere they played last year. And not one guy got suspended. Nobody tried to beat up a fan. None of that stuff happened. So, you know what? And they got a lot more abuse than Rendon did.
Don 19, we can be winless together. Tigers off to a rough start. They got bamboozled by the Rays. Big time.
Tigers just don't have enough talent right now.
They're not very good.
It's been a long time. They've really they just don't have any. I mean, do they have prospects? It's really too long. You would have thought that they'd have a couple of prospects in their farm system. With as badly as they finished the last few years, they'd be coming up and getting a little bit better. Look at it this way, Don. You're going to have a very good football team next year. You might You may end up playing the Eagles in the finals in the championship game next year.
That would be fun. I mean, they're hitting Nestor. They're getting opportunities. They got to take advantage. Marsh bleeds one down the line. Leadoff guy on second. Trey Turner's at the dish. There's no reason this game shouldn't be 3-2 in a couple minutes.
That ball was not exactly scorched, that's for sure.
No, it was a bleeder. But you get that sometimes.
Yep, well, it's baseball.
Good quote here from Ryan Swoop. I think there's the on why Taijuan Walker is number 99. I think there's only one team that I could go to where I couldn't be 99. That was the Yankees. I think every other team has available. I wasn't switching my number. So he was 99. So he didn't sign with the Yankees because Judge was there and had number 99. I bet you if he got the most money from the Yankees, he would have been number 4.
I don't think the Yankees
number 12 or something like that.
If the Yankees wanted Taijuan Walker, they probably would have just kept Taillon and not worried about Taijuan Walker. Why would they go out and get him? I mean, do you really want to have him pitching a playoff game? Because I think that's what they're kind of looking at right now.
Well, no, the Phillies signed Taijuan Walker and signed a pitcher.
I'm just saying that with the boy, that's a nice play by LeMahieu, huh?
Well, now the Phillies don't have to do bullpen games.
No.
Schwarber. I mean, someone's got to step up and get a big hit here.
Looks like the Yankees
gotta
have warm-up action.
Yeah, some guy Hamilton's warming up in their bullpen.
I have no idea who that is. Somebody new,
And
I guess.
Kyle Schwarber with his 87th infield pop-up of the season. And just like that, there's 2 outs after a leadoff double. I mean, KZ, this team ain't looking like World Series runners-up right now. No, they're not. I saw online that the 98 Yankees started 0-3. Didn't they win like 120 games?
They won 125, actually.
125 started.
If you count
So
postseason, they won 100. They were one.
Yeah,
They were 114 and
Top
48,
row.
and then they won 11 playoff games.
would like to see them get this run home. And that was the record until 0-1. Well, doesn't get any.
Then the Mariners.
It doesn't get any bigger meatball than that, JT. Is Shohei Ohtani the best superstar in baseball? The Luka of baseball, superstar on an average team? Yes. He's not going to be on the Angels for much longer. He's going to be on the Dodgers or the Mets, maybe the Yankees next year. No shot he signs an extension in Los Angeles. No shot.
Yeah, I can't imagine that would happen.
And the Mavericks, they're kind of like the story of the Western Conference. They trade for Kyrie. They think they're going to make a run at a championship, and they're not even going to make the play-in tournament.
Well, you can thank Kyrie for that. Kyrie just he's a cancer. I don't care what anybody says. That guy is a cancer. He ruins everything he touches. He destroys. He ruined Brooklyn. He ruined Boston.
Get there.
Now he's ruining Dallas.
Oh, you freaking wimps. Now you're going to get picked off third. Are you kidding me, Brandon Marsh? At that point, just go home. He might have been safe, but that's not the point. He messed up the ball in center field and got the ball rolling in the complete wrong direction to start the game. And now he makes the last out at third base.
You know something? They're just playing lousy baseball right now.
That's bad baseball right there.
Yeah.
He's out. I mean, that play right there epitomizes how the Phillies season is going right there. Just bad baseball. Missed play in center field by Brandon Marsh, and then you make the last out at third base.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Pretty much a cardinal sin in baseball is to make the first or last out at third base, and Brandon Marsh just committed a mortal sin. I don't know why there's so much indecisiveness. He's pretty fast.
He's very fast.
He could have gotten home. Pussyfoot around third base and stutter step, and you get yourself in trouble. The throw went way over the plate. He would have been safe. Like, this is what I talk about, Brad, when you have put pressure on defense. You have to put pressure on the defense. You got to make them make a play.
Especially this time of year, Rob.
Don 19, the A's are awful. They're going to set the record.
Here's the thing. I mean, Judge is playing center field tonight. Okay? So you should be running on Frankie Cordero. Does he have a good arm? I don't even know if he has a good arm.
Well, he just rocketed one right over the catcher by about 4 miles. Nestor Cortez was doing his job, backing up the play. Kudos to him. Good fundamentals. Yankees playing good baseball. Phillies playing bad baseball. This is why the Phillies are 0-3 and the Yankees are 2-1.
Nestor made a hell of a throw to third base.
And then they're going to say this is the defensive play of the game. I mean, he airmails the throw. Ugh,
yeah, and for some reason,
chaps my ass. That chaps my ass. I mean, that's just another squandered out. They squandered a bunch of opportunities last night on Sunday Night Baseball. And Nestor Cortez is a good pitcher, and they've gotten their hits. They've gotten their base runners. They've had their chances in this game. They have 7 hits, 1 run.
Which is kind of
not good.
It's like last night. It's like a habit. Yeah, here they're showing the play again. Here's Cortez I mean, wow. You know what? Good for Cortez though for doing such a good job backing up the plate. I mean, he's exactly where he's supposed to be.
And LeMahieu rockets one up the middle. And now you got murderer's row of Judge, Rizzo, and Stanton to deal with. Just not good baseball right now by the Phillies. KZ was right. This is not playing like a National League champion right now. This is actually pretty horrendous baseball. I can deal with losses, but mistakes like Brandon Marsh has made in this baseball game.
Well, that's two
awful,
of them now.
Awful, unexcusable. What Brandon Marsh just did, making the third out at third base, that should go as an error in the stats.
Absolutely.
Now Judge is up. Great.
If he wasn't gonna run, then why did he just stop at third? I'll tell you what though, Rob. There's a case where if Judge was playing right field, I don't think that he would have even rounded third. I think he would have just stopped at third.
I mean, did he forget?
Because Judge is playing center and Cordero's playing right, they were probably thinking about running on him.
There you go. Keep the ball down. 2 strikes. Ugh. Got to get out of this funk. Brad, why do they make such a big deal about who the Yankees captain is? Like they have to make it like public about who the captain is. Everyone knows Judge is the captain. Everyone knew Jeter was the captain.
Right. Well, they don't have captains all the time. The Yankees. They've gone years and years and years without captains. You know, they save it for only really special players. That's a thing. I mean, they went for 30 years, 40 years before they went from Gehrig to Thurman Munson, I think.
That's a big gap.
Yeah, they. I mean, I
like Don Mattingly wasn't the captain of the Yankees.
Was he? Maybe he. No, well, Don Mattingly was the captain of the Yankees, but Don Mattingly came after Thurman Munson.
Correct. Understood.
I don't think Mantle was the captain. I don't think anybody from those teams were the captain.
I mean, everybody has leaders. Everyone knows who the captains. Everyone knows who the captains are. Like, do we really need to make a press announcement to tell people that Bryce Harper is the captain of the Phillies?
Yeah, I think the last captain they had Lou Gehrig was the first captain. They just haven't had many captains. That's what it is. They don't captains.
Big strikeout there of Judge. Looks like Topper's coming out, going to the bullpen. Should get fun here in a few minutes. Let's see who they get in. Probably Bilotti. Oh, they got this guy. Marte, I think his name is.
Is he lefty? They're gonna bring in a lefty.
Righty, but he was throwing batting practice on opening day.
Oh. Well, again,
around the league.
None of these pitchers are stretched out. So
around the league, Brad, anything stand out to you? American League, National League.
Kansas City's ahead of Toronto 3-0 right now. That seems to stand out to me. I mean, to be honest with you, you know, Atlanta's been playing well, but they played. I guess St. Louis, you know, being impressive, and the Chicago White Sox were very impressive this weekend. You took the
words right out of my mouth on the Chicago White Sox. I'm not buying Boston yet with all their runs, but the White Sox, Brad, they went down to Houston. They got a split, and Luis Roberts playing good. Eloy Jimenez is playing good. Yohan Moncada is playing good. Dylan Cease is an ace.
No, look. They played very well. If you're asking me who I thought really showed me something, that was the White Sox.
Amazing what a manager can do in baseball.
Yeah, well, it's also amazing when there's how a bad manager can screw up a team too.
And that's what Tony La Russa was last year. He was a bad manager. They guys not running the first. The wheels completely came off. Tim Anderson got hurt. There's a lot of talent in Chicago on the south side there.
Oh yeah, they have a lot of good players on that team. Although I'll tell you what, Kopech took a beating today. I don't know what's going on with him, because he's another pitcher that had good stuff, and the wheels came off in the second half of the season last year, and he didn't have a very good spring training, and he got clobbered today. I think he gave up 7 runs and 8 hits in 5 innings today.
Don 19. Somebody explained to me, like I'm 5 years old, where you find Shohei Ohtani and Ronald Acuna of the world's at. I mean, you need to invest in the foreign market. You need to invest in Latin America. I mean, everyone knew what Shohei Ohtani was.
Yes.
I don't think anybody could have predicted his sheer dominance of Major League Baseball.
Acuna, if you have guys in the Dominican Republic that are scouting, or in Venezuela, or where a lot of these top players play, you have scouts there, you're going to find these guys because they have great players there. I mean, they just do.
I mean, another Japanese guy, Yoshida, on left field for the Red Sox. I mean,
he looks like a pretty good player. How about Senga yesterday from the Mets?
Senga really yesterday. Good. So, like, you need to take chances on these international guys, even though it might be risky. And, like, when has a Japanese guy, like, ever burnt a team? Matsui came over. He was pretty good for you guys. Ichiro came over. He was really good.
Yep.
I mean, Kaz Matsui, I think he came over.
He was okay.
He was okay for the Rockies.
Yeah, well, he played for the Mets, too. He was okay. He wasn't.
Killed the Phillies in 2007 in the friggin' division series.
Yeah, he was an okay player. Well, I mean, for the most part.
This guy stinks.
Who, the guy that's pitching for the Phillies
Marte,
right now?
Yeah. He just served up a meatball to Anthony Rizzo. It's just straight batting practice for this guy. Like, this guy is not a major league pitcher. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this guy, I've seen enough of him.
Wow.
I don't like giving up on guys this early, but this guy can't pitch. Absolutely can't pitch. You can't have him in the game ever.
Yeah,
are you buying the Red Sox?
I told you how dangerous Rizzo is in Yankee Stadium, though, Rob. He's ever since he's come to the Yankees, he's hit so many home runs. All his home runs are just like that in right field. You know, he's got that right field fence.
I mean, Brad, that would have went out at any stadium, and that ball went to Mars. That would have went out to any stadium in the whole country.
You think? That did look like it was high. It's hard to tell where it landed.
Looked like second deck.
But yeah, no, second deck. It's a shot. That's a shot.
But, I mean, there is I forget his name escapes me right now, but there's going to be a guy posted next year from Japan who wins the Japanese Cy Young in the Japan League. He's won it like 3 years in a row. He was on the World Baseball Classic team. So, I mean, Tigers should maybe get in on that. The Tigers farm system is located at Chuck E. Cheese. Ryan Swoop, the Phillies are all about velocity and throwers. All they care about is a guy who can hit the radar gun. I mean, I love guys who can throw hard. But you can't just be all fastball. You got to represent an off-speed pitch to, keep hitters guessing. And this guy, Marte, he doesn't have it. I think it was Mitch Garver who took him deep. Opening day.
Oh, boy.
No doubt about it, home run. And now Anthony Rizzo takes him deep.
That ball was crushed. Wow. Let's see, where did it land?
It was second decker.
Yeah, it did land in the second deck. Actually, that went off the upper deck, the third level.
It was a bomb. It was a bomb, Brad.
Yeah, that's a bomb. That boy, Jesus, I don't think I've seen Rizzo hit one that far.
It's a mid-90s fastball, right where Rizzo wants it. He got his hips around and hit it to
Well,
Mars.
yeah, he did.
Now it's 5-1. In essence, halfway through the baseball game, and
You guys are in big trouble now.
being down 2 runs and being down 4 runs is a big time difference.
That's tough, especially when you're down against a team who can hit like the Yankees too. Because you get the feeling the Yankees probably aren't going to just stop at 5.
But like, look at this guy. This guy is so easy. This guy, he does a really good job of keeping it low. I'll give him that. He keeps the ball down, but
Yeah, but down it in is just where left-handed hitters like the ball.
correct. So he's gonna. So the scouting report's already out on this guy.
I don't know if the scouting report's out or he's just making bad pitches. But obviously, they all seem to look like they've seen him before. That's for sure.
Well, I misunderstood the Walker comment. I mean, he's number 99. Like,
Yeah, okay. So who cares?
he wanted to be
What's
number
the difference?
99. Okay.
Okay, he wants to be number 99. Why can't he be number 99? It's not like he's on the Yankees and wants number 99. I think there's going to be a lot of guys that are going to want to wear 99. I think Judge started a trend.
I think you're right. Just like you can wear number 0 in the NFL now.
Yep.
Calvin
And I
Ridley.
think the only baseball player that wears number 0 is Adam Ottavino. Am I right? Am I wrong about that, or is there a guy in Major League Baseball?
Isn't he a double 0 though? I don't know what they do. If they want to wear number 0, they should be allowed to. Who cares?
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, it doesn't matter as long as they're not wearing a 3-digit number. I think it's okay.
Maybe that'll come next.
Yeah, number 100.
Around the league, Boston. A lot of people singing Boston's praises, Brad. Scoring a bunch of runs.
Yeah,
I don't think
they're down. By the way, they're down 7-5 to Pittsburgh now in the 5th. Boston's pitching still is not good.
I don't buy. I'm not buying the Red Sox at all.
Yeah, I'm not buying I will buy the fact that the Red Sox will be a 500 team. That I can buy because they'll be a 500 team just because they can hit. Just like the Orioles will hit enough to be a 500 team. But ultimately, you got to have good pitching in order to win. And I don't think that they're pitching. I don't think that either one of those teams have enough pitching.
Pitching's tough to come by.
Yeah, it
really is. And if you don't develop it, you're going to pay through the nose for it on the free agent market, like Taijuan Walker and Taillon.
Right. Yeah,
I don't think Taillon's a $20 million a year player.
No, he's not. He's not making $20 million, is he?
No.
Okay, I was going to say
4 for 68.
17.
Quick math was a little off.
I think that's a little. I think that's a little bit much for him.
This guy stinks. This guy stinks. When his fastball hits the plate, it's right at the knees at 94. Anyone's going to rope that into the gap. Now it's freaking 7-1. And now you are probably going to be 0-4. Let's get into some of these scores around the league.
Wow. Kansas City now 7-0 over Toronto. Minnesota 10, Miami 1. Tampa Bay 4, Washington 0. Atlanta 6, St. Louis 1. Baltimore, Texas scoreless, and Pittsburgh 7-5 over Boston right now.
I'll tell you what, I don't recall who they played over the opening weekend, but the Twins got some good pitching. Pablo Lopez did awesome on opening day.
I told you.
Maybe I was wrong about Pablo Lopez. I didn't see it from Pablo Lopez. We see him all the time.
Maybe just getting out of the NL East is what Pablo Lopez needed to do.
Joe Ryan threw a gem. They have Sonny Gray, so maybe Twins have a lot of fast guys too, so what they're going to be doing, Brad? They're going to be putting a lot of pressure on opposing defenses.
Yep. If Byron Buxton stays healthy, that team's going to be is going to definitely challenge. I don't know that they're better than Cleveland. I don't know if they're better than Chicago, but they'll challenge. They'll challenge them. They'll be right there.
Cleveland was awesome out west in Seattle. They took 3 of 4 from the Mariners.
I know they did.
That's a really good baseball team.
Yep.
And really, the only reason they lost the one game is because Karinchak, a really good setup guy, came in and he gave it up.
So are the Phillies going to take this guy out, or are they just going to keep letting him get bombed? Well, who's up, Mr. Strikeout? Hicks?
Now Trevino's up. I don't know where you're at.
Why is Hicks on this team?
I don't know. You paid him a lot of money and you're boxed in.
Yeah, but they should just release him and eat the contract. He's pathetic. Yeah, you want to know who the whipping boy in New York is? Take your pick between Hicks, Donaldson, and IKF.
But Philly fans are so weird when picking their whipping boys. The Sixers, it's kind of Tobias Harris because he makes a lot of money, and it's not justified because he's not good enough to be making that much money. And they're just rounding the bases up in the Bronx. 8-1 Yankees. Jose Trevino, RBI single, and the wheels are coming off this game. You already lost the game 16-3. You got a guy on the mound who can't pitch at all.
Why would Thompson bring this guy in to a close game?
I don't know. I mean, you throw Bilotti. I never heard of this guy. Before, but I don't like him. I don't think he's good.
I think he's going to be in the minor leagues tomorrow.
He certainly should be, but then this goes back it's frustrating because they let Andrew Painter throw way too hard in spring training and he hurt his elbow. Let him throw 104 miles an hour, full bore in his first bullpen session of spring training, and then he comes out, he probably needs Tommy John surgery.
Oh God.
So they messed that up. Now the bullpen isn't pitching well. The starters aren't pitching well. Everybody's popping out to the infield. It's a bad product. The Phillies are a bad product right now.
You're also leaving a shit ton of guys on base too. Let's be honest.
Around the league.
Tonight is a perfect example, Rob. All night you've had runners on base. Nobody's getting big hits.
Around the MLB, Cincinnati leads Chicago top 7-6. A lot of crooked numbers up there tonight. Miami getting trounced by Minnesota in the 7th. Tampa Bay beating up on Washington 4-0. Obviously, we know what's going on in this game. Another walk. You got to get this guy out of here. There you go. Go get him, Topper. Tell him to pack his shit and leave. Kansas City putting it on Toronto. Atlanta putting it on St. Louis. A lot of blowouts tonight in Major League Baseball.
Yeah, right now it looks like the best game. Right now it looks like the most competitive game, believe it or not, is Pittsburgh and Boston. And the Cubs in Cincinnati, but
what are the Royals doing tonight?
7-0.
Bobby Witt's going up.
Singer's pitching a gem, by the way.
He's on my fantasy team. He's on a bunch of my fantasy teams. I like that guy. He's good.
Yep, he is. He is. One of my fantasy favorites, John Gray, is pitching for Texas tonight against Baltimore.
Don 19, yes. Rob, you hated the UConn coach. Now he's in the national championship game. Look, UConn, that's coming up at 9:20, which, by the way, is way too late to start a national championship game. Thank God I don't have work tomorrow so I can watch it. But it's going to be UConn and San Diego State. And, yeah, I'm still not a Dan Hurley fan. All he does is bitch and moan and lose his mind on the sidelines, and he's just not likable in my opinion. But They've beaten the brains off everybody, Brad. They're 7.5.
Rob, listen, Calhoun wasn't exactly a likable coach either. And I believe he won. How many did he win? 1 or 2? I can't remember now.
I think he got 2.
2, yeah. I think it was 2. So, I mean, UConn, give them credit. I mean, I
They've
don't
won
think
every
anybody
game.
saw that coming.
They've won every game by double digits. They're 7.5 point favorites tonight. I think the Big East physical play will be too much for San Diego State. I like UConn and the under tonight. I think it's going to be – no one's jazzed up about the game, though, Brad. I know you're not the biggest college hoops fan, but I feel like everyone's kind of soured on college basketball because no one had UConn versus San Diego State in their bracket.
Exactly.
I could care less about that. I like watching good college basketball, and that this tournament has been absolutely awesome. You had a buzzer beater in the Final Four. You had a 16 beat a 1. You had a 15 beat a 2. You know, a lot going on, and college basketball is great.
Well, the thing is, and around here, in the New York, New Jersey area, I mean, we're in Pennsylvania. None of our teams are in it. So I mean, it's and all the popular teams aren't there. I mean, you've got San Diego State, who's not a very popular team. Connecticut is, I mean, obviously in stores they're probably going berserk right now, which you would expect. But overall, Connecticut's not really a likable team. I wonder about what kind of ratings you're going to get. I'd be very curious about that.
I mean, that's the drawback. Like Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky.
Yeah, Duke,
Michigan
North Carolina,
State,
Kentucky aren't
the mainstays. They faded out, and no 1 seeds even made a 1 seed. None of them even made the Elite 8.
No, I know, and that's that's rough.
College basketball is interesting because the one and done stuff, I think, is hurting these big programs because these guys go and they stay for 1 year and then they have a whole new team the year after. Like no one in Kentucky's going to have a whole new team next year. Duke might have a whole new team next year.
That's been going on for a while, though.
Yeah, but I think it's I think it's finally catching up.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Like these teams that stay together and have seniors and have leadership and have players that have won a lot of games in their college career, know how to win, know how to face adversity. Those are the teams that are rising to the top in college basketball today.
That's the difference. I mean, if you take a look at Syracuse, the year that they won, they had a very veteran team. Wallace, Monty, what the hell is his name? Monty? No, not Monty.
Which Syracuse team? Melo's team?
The one with which one was it? Not the one with Anthony. The one with John Wallace on it.
No, you're going back a little bit on me there. I'll have to look it up.
The first championship. I mean, they I think Anthony was on that team too, wasn't he?
No, Anthony was only on I think it was 03.
Okay. All right. No, that's what I mean. Anthony won a championship, though, didn't he?
One of the greatest college players. He only played 1 year.
Yeah.
And he's one of the greatest college players I've ever seen. And they won the championship. But he was surrounded by – because I think McNamara was a freshman too.
Yeah, it's
on that team.
He kind of wasted his career with the Knicks.
I mean, he scored a lot of points. I mean –
yeah, but he needed to be on a better team, though.
He was just so much better than everyone at Syracuse.
Yeah, he was.
And he was better than everyone in college that year, and that because they beat a good Kansas team in that championship.
Yep, they were underdogs too.
The Collison.
That was Jock Vaughn's. That was Jock Vaughn's team, right?
No, that was Roy Williams before he went to North Carolina.
No, it wasn't Jock Vaughn playing on that team. I thought he was. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know.
And you got to give them a lot of credit. They've done something nobody expected.
Yeah, all the teams I talked smack on filling out my bracket are in the finals. Didn't believe in San Diego State because the Mountain West never does good in the tournament. Can't stand Dan Hurley, even though I'm a Big East guy. I like the Big East. Didn't like them. Had them losing to Iona. So, I mean, are there people really out there that aren't going to watch the national championship of the basketball because their bracket was shot on the first day because you had Arizona or Purdue going far? That's just silly and petty. I guess that's the kind of society we live in today with Anthony
Yeah,
Rendon and Bradley Beal and Lamar Jackson, and everything's petty.
Yeah. Yeah.
The older I get, Brad, I'm going to sound like an old man. The older I get here, the worse society gets at handling adversity.
That's true. You're not wrong about that, and it has nothing to do with you being older. It's you're just realizing it how ridiculous it is.
So the 2003 American Loyal right tune in. You see Carmelo Anthony on it. They were the big guns. Hakeem Warwick was a sophomore, freshman McNamara, obviously freshman Carmelo. Look at the big scores.
Yeah, I'll tell you what,
here.
he was unbelievable when he was on Texas on Denver.
Yeah, he got to the Western Finals a couple times, couldn't overcome Kobe, and that was that.
Yeah, well,
let's transition to the NBDF. It's a 162 game season. We have to stop giving games away ASAP. Yes, because 2 mistakes really changed the outlook of this baseball game tonight. You had Marsh, first batter of the game for the Yankees, lets a ball scoot to the wall. LeMahieu gets a triple. Probably a couple years ago would have been an inside the park home run to lead off the game for the Yankees. And then he gets thrown out at third because he gets happy feet.
Well, he saw the ball go over. He saw the ball going over over Trevino's head.
I mean, Alec Boehm stays hot, Brad. He's got a single and a double tonight. It's the sixth. And this is what I was saying at the top of the show, Brad. Like, are the Phillies in big trouble here? Absolutely. They're probably not going to win this game, but I don't.
Oh, this game, they're going to have to. It's going to take a miracle for them to win this game. But
they have the bats to put up some runs. Cortez is out of the game. I'm not familiar with this Hamilton guy. Boehm just led off with a base hit. Like, I don't feel like they're ever out of a game.
The Yankees bullpen is not good, Rob.
No one's bullpen's good.
Yeah, right now. I mean, they've got a couple of guys that have pitched well, but they've got a lot of guys that we don't really know what to expect out of.
And they don't get there. Should have been a double play, but Torres wasn't covering for whatever reason. So you get another runner in scoring position. Like, I want to see them get this run in.
Where the hell was Torres?
I do feel like I don't know where Torres was. It was sharply hit, and Boehm's a pretty good athlete, but I want to see them get this run in. So I think baseball is a sport where you can catch something in a blowout and get momentum, and it can carry over to the next day.
Well, momentum is only as good as the next day's pitcher. Now, you know what? I think Glaber, I don't know if Glaber was late covering or that ball was just hit so hard that he had too far to run.
I mean, it was definitely a rocket, and there's an easy ground out to first, and the Phillies are out. Phillies are slugging high.
That ball was a rocket. That ball was really hit. A nice play by Volpe, because that ball could have eaten him up.
Well, the next one, whenever you see it, is going to be an easy ground out to first.
Yeah, I just saw it. That's it.
Phillies are a slugging high strikeout team. I mean, Schwarber strikes out, but he also hits 40 home runs, so you can live with that.
And he gets a lot of walks, and he doesn't hit 210.
Now he hits 218, which isn't much better. He's got to do better than that this year.
Yeah,
I'll sacrifice 15 home runs if you get me 260. I think that would help the team a lot. I mean, Bohm is not a high strikeout guy. Castellanos has always been a decently high average guy.
Castellanos has always been a real good hitter. I'm not totally understanding what's
JT
going on
doesn't
in
blow me away at strikeout. I mean, they're striking out a lot right now. Well, actually, they're not striking out. The biggest problem with this baseball team's offense right now is that they're popping way too many pitches up, and they're not driving the baseball.
Yeah, and the other problem is their pitching is they're getting way behind because their pitching's been so bad, and they're not playing smart baseball either.
Just another day in the life of a Philadelphia sports fan, Brad.
Well, it's only one game, Rob. 0-4 is very possible at this point, but I don't think you're going to see 0-6. The Phillies are too good a baseball team for that to happen.
But doesn't it sucks that they're starting off so bad? It's like when your football team loses the first game. It feels like you're 0-8 all week until you play another game and hopefully win. God forbid you lose that game, you feel like you're the worst team in the league. But they only play once a week.
Yeah, well, the difference in that sport is it's only 17 games. So I mean, this is 162 games. It's a marathon, and yes, the 1998 Yankees were 1-4 to start the season, and they ended up winning. If you count the playoffs, they won 125 games that year. So a lot of things can change, and it hasn't really been the offense as much as it's been the pitching. Really, I mean,
like the Phillies have 8 hits tonight.
Yeah, but every time they got runners on base, Nestor Cortez buckled down and
you should have more than if you have 8 hits in a baseball game through 6 innings, through 6 at bats, you should not have 1 run.
No, you should not. They're not hitting home runs either, which is a problem.
All right, Brad, let's transition to the NBA. Sixers have 4 games left. The Sixers pissed me off yet again last night and proved to me why they are not going to the Eastern Conference Finals. No shot, no how, no way. They get routed by the Milwaukee Bucks, 117-104. Looks like they're going to settle into that 3 seed, and play Boston in the second round, and then that'll be it. The Sixers can't beat good teams, Brad.
I've noticed that.
So, that's all well and good. You're going to win 50 games a year with Joel Embiid and Harden and Tobias and the whole crew. But when you play the Suns, when you play the Nuggets, when you play Boston, Milwaukee, I would put the Lakers and the Warriors on that list as well.
I don't know about the Lakers.
Lakers pending health.
Didn't
Anthony Davis is hurt again? Yeah, I get it. But I've been talking since the trade deadline about how well I thought the Lakers did at the trade deadline, and I believe they have gotten themselves out of the play-in tournament.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a good thing for them. How about the Knicks, Rob?
Knicks good.
Give them some credit. I mean, with all the injuries, with all the injuries they have,
Brad,
they're really hanging in there.
Brad, we've been doing shows together for 7-8 years now. And what do I always say about the NBA? What do I say about basketball in general? You got to have guards.
Yeah.
You got to have guards
that
can
guards.
Go.
Yeah, they have
guards. Have Brunson, they have Quickly, they have Josh Hart, and they have Barrett. They have outstanding perimeter players. And by the way, underneath, they're not that tragic either. They have Julius Randle and Mitchell Robinson.
No, they're pretty good, actually. They just,
mean,
what do you think what positions do you think they need to upgrade to be elite? Because I keep looking at it. Grimes is pretty good, also. By the way,
Grimes is very good, also out of Houston,
coming off the bench. Yeah, he's pretty good
because
too.
Quickly and Grimes can lock you up.
Yeah, they're good defenders.
The Sixers are just going to beat the Knicks in a playoff series if that were to happen because the Sixers have more star power. And when push comes to shove in the NBA, stars win.
Right, and Embiid just they
So
can't
the
stop
Knicks,
Embiid.
the Knicks need a star.
Well, they've got a couple of stars, but they don't have they
No,
don't have
you
like a
need
top five. But they need a top
Brad. It's
five
very
player.
hard. It's very hard to win in the NBA if you don't have a top 5 to 7 player.
Right, exactly. So where do they get one?
Like
That's the
you're drawing up the play, and your coach Brad is drawing up the play. You need a bucket to beat the Sixers in a playoff game. Who are you drawing the play for?
Brunson.
Is that good enough to win a championship?
Brunson, yeah, I think he is. But I would say this: the only problem with Brunson is if Brunson is going up against, say, a team like Philadelphia. Okay, he's not going to be able to go to the basket with Embiid standing there. Embiid will take the ball, will knock the ball down his throat. That's the problem.
He's not going to have to drive the ball against the Sixers because the Sixers, for the 87th year in a row, can't defend the perimeter to a championship level team. The Knicks can. The Knicks just lack stars.
Yeah,
Cleveland can defend the perimeter with Mitchell. They just lack. They're just a star away.
Yeah,
Boston can definitely defend the perimeter.
Would a guy like Devin Booker put them over the top? What is it? What position do you think they need to upgrade big time? I mean, does it take a Karl Anthony Towns to do it? To put him in the middle and get rid of Mitch Robinson? Is that what it takes?
It's tough.
I mean, is he
like,
good enough to do that?
Devin Booker would put you over the top because you don't have to. He would come to the Knicks and he would start, and he wouldn't have to. He could just score.
There have been a lot of
Knicks
rumors
have Brunson,
but I don't know. I mean, where are you going to put him? Shooting guard?
I mean, you find a spot. I mean, Devin Booker is far from my favorite player in the league, but he is really good. I mean, you just go all, and you start Brunson with Barrett and Book and 2 big teeth. Then you guys 2-3 guards on the bench that can both shoot threes and defend.
Yeah,
the Knicks have done a very good job building this thing up.
Yeah, they have. They went and got a player agent to be their GM, Leon Rose, and he's done a good job. You know, I mean, they've drafted extremely well, and I cannot ever remember
there's
the Knicks drafting like this. The Cavs or the
I
Nets?
told you quickly and Maxey were going to be the steals of that draft. You want the Cavs or the Nets in the first round for your Knicks, Brad?
Who would I rather play? But I think they'll kill the Nets.
Correct.
Okay, the Cavs would be a lot tougher for them. I think they could beat the Cavs, but they will have to really, really play at a high level to beat the Cavs. They could beat. I do think they could beat them, though. The Nets are okay.
The Nets are scrappy and spunky, though. Well, it's interesting because they have guys who actually want to play for them.
Yeah. Yeah, and Bridges.
They sent Ben Simmons home and they traded Kyrie Irving.
Yeah, and they Bridges has been a godsend for them. He's been unbelievable since he started playing in Brooklyn. And you're right. The guys there look like they genuinely are enjoying playing and are having fun. And it's never seen that way with those three guys. Those 3 guys just seem like they brought their briefcases to work, did their work, and then went home. And they weren't a very emotional group. This group that they have now is very emotional, and they're coachable, and they seem to enjoy playing together.
I don't know if the Knicks are going to win a playoff series, Brad, but
I don't know if they can either. I mean, listen, they're not quite there yet, but they are definitely a playoff team. They definitely proven that they are a solid playoff team. Now, as you said, they do need another star, a real star. I mean, a superstar. If they could get that superstar to go with some of the guys they've got, I don't know how they go about doing that. I mean, they'd have to obviously trade and get rid of some salary. I think the guy that could be the odd man out is Barrett.
He hasn't developed like I thought he was going to be a stud. I mean,
he's good, but he's good. He's averaging 19.5 points a game, but he's not doing it efficiently, and That's the problem. He's taking an awful lot of shots to be averaging 19 points a game. Now, like Randall will score that many Randall will score that many points. On like 10 shots, he'll get 19 points. You know what I'm saying? And it'll take RJ 20 shots to get that many points.
Don 19, I think it was, asked us about the West play-in, which is extremely interesting right now. So the Lakers, I guess they fell back. They fell back to the Warriors by a half game for the 6th seed. So the Lakers are the 7, the Pelicans are the 8, the Wolves are the 9, and right now Oklahoma City over the Dallas Mavericks
Good
are
for
the
them.
10 seed. Someone mentioned the Portland Trailblazers in the chat and why they're sitting Dame. They are not in a playoff race. They have been eliminated from playoff contention. So they are sitting Dame.
How much longer is he going to stay in Portland? I understand loyalty, but there's got to be a point.
I would be wary of trading for Damian Lillard if I were the New York Knicks, because I think that's the star that's going to get moved in the offseason. It's tough to say this, but because he's obviously a competitor. He's a really good player.
Yeah, but he's old now.
Had a bunch of points in the All-Star game. I don't know. I'd be looking for a forward as opposed to Dame Lillard for the.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, if I'm the Knicks, I think I want a small forward who can dominate. That's name isn't RJ Barrett. I would trade RJ Barrett if I could. So I think you could still get a lot for him.
If you're going to trade for a big time forward, he's going to be in the trade.
Right, he has to be because of the money.
Don 19 is Shea Alexander Gilchrist from the Thunder, a star or superstar? I think he's a superstar. For them to be the 10 seed when they're rebuilding in a very tough, deep Western Conference is unbelievable. So he's a superstar. And remember, they took Chet Holmgren out of Gonzaga with, I think, the first pick or the second pick, maybe the third pick, really high in the draft last year. And he broke his foot training in the offseason. So they're going to get him back. If he's as good as they think they are, there's the Phillies threatening again, not to get off the NBA, but Phillies threatening again. 2 more hits, 2 more base runners. Let's string some together. Let's get one now.
So
another hit. I think that first and second, Trey Turner with another hit. He's really good, Brad.
Oh, I know he is. He's a terrific offensive player.
Here comes Boone. Looks like the Yankees are going to make a pick.
I have no idea. I have no idea who this pitcher is.
Loizaga is coming in.
Oh, then they're getting serious now.
Getting a little serious.
Yeah, if they're bringing in Loizaga or Peralta, those are their serious relievers or Holmes. King isn't quite there yet. He pitched on Saturday and he got clobbered. He's the one that had a broken elbow last year. He did make the All-Star team and he was sensational, and then he hurt himself in Baltimore, and he pitched Saturday and he got clobbered. I don't know that he's ready yet to be used in high leverage situations, although 8-1 is not exactly a high leverage situation.
He didn't take him out, so he left him in.
Yeah, he obviously wants to, I guess he wants to see what the guy's got, but I think this is a big mistake.
Schwarber is more than due.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't really understand why you wouldn't just.
But at worst, you're going to be 8-4 with the bases empty, and then you can go to Loizaga.
No, I understand that, but why? But I guess
this is a good spot. This is a good spot to see what he's got.
Yeah, I suppose you're right. That was a heck of a curveball, by the way. The one that he just swung over.
Come on, Schwartz.
I would have rather seen them bring in Peralta to pitch to this guy because this guy is lefty, and I like the lefty at lefty matchup. But that was a heck of a curveball too.
Yeah, back-to-back curveballs. Schwarber swung right over him. He's like,
Guess what? Guess what he's going to throw this time? He's going to throw the same damn pitch.
Don 19. I mean, Jaylen Brown's not getting traded. Jaylen Brown, there's been rumors forever. He's still there. As long as they have Tatum and Brown, they're going to be contenders for the championship. So I'm not buying all that noise with Jaylen Brown getting traded. Like, what are the Knicks going to have to satisfy the Celtics' needs for Jaylen Brown?
They don't have anybody that's going to satisfy them.
And why would they like?
And the Celtics are not going to. The Celtics are not going to try to let him come back and plague them over the next few years either.
Schwarbs is lost, man. He's lost up there. Someone get him a map. He's lost. Might have to move him out of the 2-hole.
Another curveball. He struck him out with the same pitch 3 times in a row. That was the exact same pitch.
He's not seeing the board, as they say right now. Now it looks like they're making the move.
What is that a slider or what the heck was that? A split?
So now Loizaga is going to come in to pitch to Real Muto.
Okay.
Ugh. It really is just bad baseball. I mean, Schwarber's playing awful and Marsh is playing awful, but, you know, Bohm's 3 for 3 again.
Turner's hitting the ball.
Castellano's hit on opening day, and no one really hit since. I'd like to see a pulse. I'd like to see a big hit here from JT. Show me you're turning the corner as a lineup.
Well, you'd like to see him like maybe punch one to right center field, clear the bases.
Then I also wonder, is this locker room shook with the Rhys Hoskins injury? Rhys Hoskins was a tremendously popular player amongst his teammates.
That's a killer injury. Yeah, I got to tell you, Rob, I had him on my fantasy team. You know, I mean, that should tell you all you need to know.
Who'd you have?
The respect. I had Rhys Hoskins.
Oh, you had Rhys?
Yeah, I had to let him go. I mean, I had Rizzo too, but Rizzo was supposed to be the corner infielder, not the first baseman.
At least it happened. Yeah, that kind of sucks because we drafted.
Yeah, we drafted the next day. Yeah, the next day he gets hurt.
We drafted a touch early, and I've already heard about it from several managers. I told them all to shut up because the only person who can complain to me about it, the only person who can complain about it is Brad because he lost Rhys Hoskins, and he's not, and he hasn't sent me a text about it yet. So
because it's just a tough break. What are you going to do?
Don 19, he's a big fan. We do it for you, Don. Even though you're from Detroit, doesn't matter to us. For the fan, by the fan. We're here for you. We appreciate you checking in.
Yeah, you know what? Every time I see a Tiger game or I see the Red Wings or the Lions, I always think about you, Don.
I pull for them. I don't hate Detroit.
Well,
the Pistons are dreadful.
Yeah,
and the Tigers are dreadful.
It's rough, but you know what? I think the Lions are going to play the Eagles in the championship game next year. How do you like that?
I mean, it's early for that, but I hear you.
I think that's going to be the game.
Another harmless pop up by the Phillies. First pitch swinging, 8-1. Phillies are down 8-1 in the Bronx. 10 hits, Brad. 1 run.
And you put that together last night with 1 run on 9 hits. So they've got 2 runs on 19 hits in the last 16 innings. That's almost it. That's really hard to do.
It's almost impossible.
That's really hard to do. That's, the Yankees have been guilty of not hitting with runners on base, but and they are guilty of doing that, but that's ridiculous. That's crazy.
I mean, it would have been nice to come out with some juice, doing a live reaction show. You're playing the Yankees.
Would have been fun to go back and forth. It's just not. It's not fun to make jokes when it's a shitty game. That's the problem. I mean, I don't get it. I saw that team. I saw your team last year. That was a damn good baseball team last year. They're really playing. They're it's not necessarily that they're just not playing smart baseball. I mean, tonight it was Marsh, but you know what? Some of the other guys. I mean, Schwarber is not hitting. Has left the village out there tonight. Uh, really, the only guys that are hitting are Bowman and Turner. And I get it. The other guys will hit, but it's gotta be infuriating to see this going on right now.
I've officially tapped out on the Phillies. I have turned over to the national championship game. They're doing player introductions. I do have UConn, and I like the under in this game. Yeah, I'll parlay that. Let me parlay that, and then we'll talk about some hockey because I actually watched some hockey this weekend.
Did you?
I did.
Did you happen to watch my Rangers on Sunday?
I did watch your Rangers on Sunday. They
look pretty good. Damn good.
Strong contender. They are a strong contender in the East, but your Rangers are good, and they have the goalie, and they've made a lot of great moves. But
the Devils are good too.
Well, I watched because I watched Boston. I watched Boston play Pittsburgh on Saturday.
Oh, Boston is unbelievable right now.
I don't see how anybody beats Boston.
I don't see it either, but you know what? We all thought that with Tampa Bay when they won the President's Trophy. You do know that the President's
Trophy it's kind of a curse, right?
It's a jinx. Every team that wins the President's Trophy loses in the playoffs.
We know in Philadelphia, Brad.
Yeah, it's beyond ridiculous.
Early 2000s, early 2000s, Flyers won a bunch of President's Cups, and they always faded out.
Yeah, late 80s too. It's remarkable that these teams that win the President's Cup and then they have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs and they get knocked out in the first round or the second round. It's crazy how often that seems to happen. I mean, you know, if you get beaten in the finals, there's no humiliation there. Or if you get beaten in the Final Four, you know, in the conference finals, there's no humiliation. But boy, you got to get there. You got to at least get to the conference finals if you win the President's Trophy. If you can't get there, that's not.
I know
that's a bad sign.
I know you hate Gary Bettman, but I absolutely love the setup of the NHL playoffs.
Oh, I think it's awful, Rob. First of all,
why do you think it's awful?
Because the top 8 teams, it should be the top 8 teams, not the second and third teams and the first place teams playing wild card teams. It should be the top 8 teams playing in that order. Now, obviously, if that was the case, the Rangers would be playing Toronto with the home ice advantage, and that would be a very difficult series for them too. It's not that. I just don't think. I just think that these teams, it shouldn't be that way. I think it should be the top 8, not second and third. I disagree with that totally. You know, it should be the 8 best records.
But I like that rivalries are promoted heavily in playoff matchups with this format. Like you're going to have the Rangers and the Devils in the first round. That's going to be a bloodbath. Tampa Bay and Toronto are division rivals
again,
and then
and that's going to be a bloodbath as well.
And then you're going to have. I'm going to go ahead and assume that the Carolina Hurricanes and the Boston Bruins are going to win their first round series. With respect to the Islanders and the Penguins, I don't think those teams match up.
Penguins may not make it, Rob. Right now, I think it's the Panthers.
Right here on ESPN, the Panthers have 85 points. Penguins have 86.
Oh, okay.
All
right.
Both have played 77 games.
Okay.
So we're getting
all right. I thought the Panthers may have had the lead for a day, and then I guess the Penguins won yesterday.
But you're going to have Carolina against the Rangers in the second round. You're going to have Boston
if the Rangers beat the Devils, and I'm not 100% sure that that's going to happen.
No, the Devils are good too. I think the Rangers with those moves.
I mean, I don't know,
just
Rob.
A little bit better.
I think they are too. But you know what? I watch Kane, and he looks slow. And Tarasenko looks like he's lost a step too. But he still has a great wrist shot. Kane still has a great shot. I don't think they're not nearly as fast as they used to be. And I didn't realize how much they've slowed down as far as their skating speed. But the Rangers do have 3 lines. The one thing the Rangers do have is they have 3 lines.
Do they need that from those guys though? I watched Lafreniere. He skated the whole ice, did some spin move, and just flipped it in backhanded on yesterday afternoon.
Oh, the one where he put the puck between his legs.
Yeah,
he did that last year against Toronto. He's got 16 goals. That's what I'm saying. But that's their third line, Rob. Their third line has 2 guys that have 16 goals and a guy that's got 22 goals. Now, that's their third line. That is not bad. If you think about it, not too many teams have a third line that can do that much damage. And I think that's where, and their fourth line scored a lot of goals too. And that's, you don't see that. You have a fourth line basically that has 2 guys with one guy has, I think, 13 goals, another guy has 11, and the other one has 10, something like that. You don't see that out of fourth lines anymore. Most of the fourth lines in the NHL are bangers.
I'm looking at these standings and going down. I'm going down these teams right now. Like no, yay,
yeah. I don't disagree.
I mean, the Rangers could win. The Bruins could win. Carolina could win. The Devils could win.
So could Toronto. And so could the Lightning.
That's just the East. The West is much more murky.
I still like Colorado out of that group. Colorado, since they got everybody back, has been playing a lot better.
What about the Oilers, Brad?
Don't like their goaltending. I'm not impressed with Soupy.
They have Connor McDavid though.
Yeah, well, they've had Connor McDavid for the last 7 years.
He's like the Mike Trout. He's like the Mike Trout of hockey.
Yeah, and Draisaitl is the Ohtani. I mean, the two of them are great, but you know what? Their defense still stinks. They give up way too many goals. I mean, the last time the Rangers went to Edmonton, they spanked them.
I like the Rangers. I got a monster futures bet on the Rangers. I did at the beginning.
Yeah, I know you do. You got better odds than I did.
I did at the beginning before they made their trade. So I guess I'm a Rangers fan. Flyers obviously eliminated. So I guess it pains me to say it, but at least I'll never root for the Devils and I'll never root for the Penguins.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the feeling of both Ranger fans and Flyer fans. Those are 2 teams I can't stand.
I mean, the Rangers, whatever. They can win me a bunch of money. That's cool.
Well, I hope so, but we'll see. We'll see. You know, a lot of things have to go right.
Anything else on your mind, Brad?
No, I think that's about it. I mean, I hope for your sake and Philadelphia's sake that the Phillies get it together. It'd be a lot more fun.
Well, after this series, they come home and they play the Reds.
Okay. Well, they're going to hammer them.
Keep your eye on our social media. I would imagine some tailgates are brewing for opening day, and it is Easter Sunday, but I'll be at the ball game on Sunday. Stay tuned for tailgates like that. Any announcements like that, hit that like, hit that subscribe, turn those notifications on. Thank you to our great sponsors, Specialized Physical Therapy, Dr. Paul Vidal. He's our doc, make him yours too. Gleason's Bar and Grill, 6700 Mill Creek Road in the heart of Bucks County. Alan Foy of eXp Realty. FanUp, best way to play daily fantasy. And thanks to all of you who liked, shared, and commented on our show. He's Brad. I'm Rob. Until next Monday, peace out, everybody.